And there's a battle that's going on today, as you know, with Children's Island. Children's Island, which was a national park, is now in the control of a private developer. Environmental issues are human rights issues. And not only are they human rights issues, they're civil rights issues. And if you look at the communities in this country who bear the brunt of environmental injury, whether it's the destruction of parks or whether it's the poisoning of their ecosystems, it's always the poorest, most vulnerable communities. It's the Hispanic neighborhoods, it's the black neighborhoods. There is a connection between environmental injury and human rights and civil rights. And if you look at the history of civil rights in this country, the first battles in civil rights and the most important battles in civil rights were not about transportation, and they were not about voting rights. They were about control of public parks, which in the southern states were all segregated, and public swimming pools. And that's where the first battles started. And there's a battle that's going on today, as you know, with Children's Island, which was a national park and somehow is now in the control of a private developer. But it was done here almost secretively without any community involvement a year and a half ago. But we don't want to develop the last of the green land in Washington, D.C., and a place that was a national park until a year and a half ago. And there's something very fundamentally wrong with that. I don't believe that this could have happened in any other community in this country. It happened in the district because people thought they won't pay attention in the district. It's the same reason the toxic waste is placed in these neighborhoods, because they think these are people who are not connected, they can't afford the lawyers, they don't have political clout, and so we can do it to them, although we would never do it anywhere else in this country. Nobody else would let us get away with this. It's not like we can't find places in this community to build an amusement park. All of you know of land in this community that is desperately in need of development. We're not protecting the environment for the sake of the eagles or the fishes or the birds, but because it enriches us. It enriches us economically, yes, we ignore that at our peril, it's the foundation of our economy, but it also enriches us culturally and spiritually and aesthetically, and we have to recognize that human beings have other appetites besides money, and that if we don't feed these appetites, we are not going to grow into the beings that we are supposed to be. We are not going to fulfill ourselves. We are not, because we need the enrichment of nature. Nature enriches us. When we destroy it, we're diminished and our children are impoverished. And that's why we protect these things, because we owe a debt to our children, and our children own Children's Island. The developer doesn't own it, the foreigners don't own it, the people with the $14 million to seed around Capitol Hill don't own it. Our children own it, and they own the Anacostia River.